Hey guys, so I thought I'd talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, and hopefully it will make sense to you guys as well. So, one thing that I highly recommend to you guys is to, if you're looking to make a career in IT, but let's say that you are maybe short term you're thinking I'm going to be a coder for a few years and then I want to be a manager of some sort, because not everybody is like me who wants to a purist, zealous, die-hard tech guy, right? Some people want to actually progress their career in somehow. And if that's what you're looking for, this is an open letter to all you people out there who want to be a project manager or something for IT. Please, I beg you, start by being a programmer. Learn what it means to be a programmer. Learn IT, because I'm working with so many people these days who have absolutely they have no idea. To them, I mean, we have project managers and product owners and like all these people who have absolutely no idea how anything works. They don't know anything. I mean, they're literally in a situation where we have to the developers have to explain every single little thing about everything, and we have to motivate, and almost like we're in a position where we can't actually just have a natural dialogue with a lot of our managers, because our managers have no idea what we're doing. They have no experience whatsoever. And that, you may think that that's not something that's much of a problem, but it's actually a massive problem. Think about it. If you have, I can explain to you how something works, and I can break it down to you and make it comprehensible to you, but I'm not always going to be able to do that. And if you're in a meeting where I might not even be involved, and you are asked by your boss, like if you're my manager and your boss talks to you about, okay, how are these things going to work, and can we do this, yes or no? If you don't know, you're going to think in a different way, because an engineer will have one way at looking at a schedule or a delivery date, and there's a different process. Like, ideally what you want is to have meetings and schedulings done by the most senior engineer on the project, because these people know, like, okay, that code is going to be there, that's the code we're going to have to touch, and it's going to mean this and that, and they can understand this at a much deeper level than you could ever hope to do. And I think that's a really big problem, especially in large companies where you have so many managers that, and you can't have, ideally you want the programmer, you want to, don't hire a manager, don't hire somebody outside of the company. Promote one of the more senior staffs if you can up to be a manager, because they're going to be able to be something that is more valuable to you. And that is somebody, a doer, a leader, somebody who can actually who understands the product and understands what it means to do certain things. They are going to, over time, be able to give you much more accurate estimates and probably produce better results, because they've already established, ideally, a rapport and a connection with the team that is going to build everything. Because otherwise, if you don't do that, you're going to be stuck with a PowerPoint person. And this is, I don't know if anybody else uses this term, but this is I'm the first guy who've ever coined this term. So PowerPoint person. A PowerPoint person is a human being who is spending most of their career either in a meeting or trying to prepare a PowerPoint presentation for a meeting. In other words, they spend most of their time looking or making PowerPoint presentations. And that is, to me, a person who doesn't produce much in terms of value. I mean, I've talked to companies where they have PowerPoint people saying, oh, we have too many meetings, and then they could get another PowerPoint person trying to figure out how they could have less meetings. And I'm not joking. This is real stuff. So when I argue that there's an entire generation of people who only have a job because they learned the Microsoft Office package. They can use Excel and Microsoft Word, and that's the only reason they have a job. Because let's be honest here. Yes, in certain, depending on the project, you may or may not have like managers who do things differently, and you can be like effective and so forth. But there are also managers who provide very little in value. They're virtually a human proxy for somebody even higher up the food chain. And the issue here is that this kind of cascades all the way down from the top all the way down, because if you have managers who are not technical people or engineers, you are going to have a situation where I'm going to argue that you're going to find that very often it's very difficult for you to have a good working relationship with the engineers, if the higher up you get, because the less people know about IT and the domain that they're working in, the more likely it is that they will make bad decisions. I mean, you hire architects, like you can be an IT architect, and just ask yourself, would you hire an IT architect who's never ever worked as a programmer? Well, I wouldn't. I would never do that. That seems ridiculous. So to me, it's the same thing. Why would I hire an IT manager who's never ever worked in IT? Or like they're not even a programmer? I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense. Would you go to a doctor who doesn't have a medical degree? It's not the exact same thing, but I hope you can understand my mindset, because there are to me, I'm sorry, but there are too many PowerPoint people in this world, and these people are really good at talking, getting opinions, discussing, debating, and doing all these things that are not helping all that much. They are not doers, and that's what you want to be, in my opinion. So this, as I said, it's an open plead, if you will, that if you want to be in a position where you're managing us developers, please take the time to become one of us. You don't have to be the best. Just learn the domain and then start to climb up the ladder and become a manager, because otherwise you're going to fuck over so many people. And unfortunately, sometimes I'm one of them. And yeah, not trying to say that it's a bad thing to be a manager. Just try to be a good one.